new trading day ahead of us, and pretty much we are trading in a range right now, but the market is far up. It has pushed heavily. You can see here we are close to the all-time highs here, but we are kind of like, you can see how that kind of works out here. We have like a kind of large range or something like that, but it's still like a doji, very undecisive. Then inside of that, are we going to have inside day today? I wouldn't want to see that. And honestly speaking, the range is starting to be a little bit small here. So I'm not really expecting that market is not going to move out of this range. Nah, there's no way. We created equal lows here. Now we got equal highs here, but the main liquidity, or I wouldn't say this is the main liquidity, but this important area of liquidity, we took that here. So now I'm looking at this low because we came close here and never really took it, and now we've pushed back lower. I would want to see how price rejects in these areas, because there are, well, this is bearish order block. I'm interested in seeing how that kind of works out for the market. So 50% of that order block, you can see how we're trading in that right now, but that doesn't need to actually hold because we got some highs above here, which we could easily just liquidate some of them, even if market wanted to go lower. So there certainly has to be some type of caution here. I'm interested in is this no, this is not a, wait a second. Yeah, this is new day opening gap. So new day opening gap. So we're trading in that right now. So that's a sign of like that could cause price to melt lower, or that could be like a pivot point for price. So, but we could still like shoot higher. We got that liquidity, and you can see these are very clear and important highs here. So we could easily just go up there. So this day could be a little bit tricky, but the thing why I want to initially think a little bit more of shorts is because we took the buy side here, but always when we push lower, we never really took the sell side. We push lower, didn't take the sell side. Push again lower, didn't take the sell side. And market always kind of moves then higher and rejects. And now we're leaving more liquidity to the downside short term. So what I would prefer to see is like a drop and then move higher. Also, this is Thursday, and I'm not sure. Could there be a situation where Thursday maybe pushes now higher, and then at the end of the week, Friday, you could see like a push lower, and then that could be your usual TGIF setup where price just gives nice sell after bullish week in Friday. But I don't really know. Definitely, if I was trying to get long, I would be a little bit hesitant about it, all the longs because of the liquidity. But if price gives enough confluences to go long, I could still do that. Right now, I don't really think what I would want to see if markets was going to just bump higher. Like how I would get into a long, I'm not sure, but there is a clear blueprint of how shorts would play out here. Maybe liquidate one of these highs or both there, give like a shift, and you could short just that. But yeah, that's the thoughts in here right now. So right now markets opened in this new day opening gap. So that's something to look for. I'm going to mark out now my Okay, the opening range gap is inside of the new day opening gap, and it's abysmal. Like it's abysmally small. Nothing really notable about that. Like that's one of the most unimportant opening range gaps I've ever seen. It doesn't really matter. We got more sell side liquidity up down here still. So pre-market kind of chops higher like this. So yeah, these highs maybe could get liquidity, and I'm keeping an eye on these. That's your buy side liquidity, but generally speaking, I'm just thinking of shorts right now. So unfortunately, if we now displace immediately lower, I'm not just willing to jump in probably. Although there's an SMT as well. This SMT, I'm starting to look. I don't usually enjoy taking the trades where you take almost immediately at the open the setup. So I'm just trying to keep myself from doing that. But the problem for me is that there's a chance that market runs now lower, and this could be like an immediate rebalance where market rebalances the price and doesn't give fair value gap. That's big signature in price that could mean that price is going to accelerate quickly. But yeah, right now this could have been a trade entry from that stop above C of the wick here, and just target all the way down to your liquidity pools. Like this could play out, and this could have been a good trade, but like I just didn't feel like getting straight in. You know what I'm saying? So, but sells are seemingly playing out currently. In my opinion, I need to see more structure. What I would consider as good enough evidence for sells is if we pushed back higher, kind of like a choppy price action, but then put on like a bullish fair value gap, then inverse that, I can get into short from those kind of situations. But right now we're just melting way too fast. Which this day could be like a little bit of a straightforward down day where it doesn't really give you entries, because right now market open we melt immediately to these liquidity pools. So that could be problematic in a way that I don't know how to get into a trade. But if market ends up melting the whole day, I usually have, for those days, I have kind of like a model framed, which goes like this. Let's say I usually like to take the trades after 11 a.m. So let's say today is the general your trending day where it doesn't really give much retracement. It kind of just does these small bumps and just moves lower like this, and doesn't really give any entries whatsoever. And you like want to get short, but it just doesn't give enough retracement. And I've seen these days this happen all the time. So then it sweeps your external liquidity target, and you have missed all the opportunities because there was basically no opportunities for you. So then, what's the system that I use in these days? Well, obviously I can't get into this because let's say the liquidity pool that I target is down here. I try to get in the short to target this, but market is trading somewhere in here. I could technically get into a short if it gave like retracement like that, but sometimes when you see very aggressive move lower, the retracement also could be a little bit more aggressive like this after the drop. And then that's the reason why I wouldn't want to get in just like this from this kind of price action. So, but something that happens almost every single time after these type of days is after 11 a.m. you kind of start to see some type of shift higher, at least from 12 p.m. And then you can kind of target these internal pools that have been created. So this type of shift could then result in a fairly good looking long to these liquidity pools like this. So I like to take these type of trades then if I've missed all the major movement of the day, you know what I'm saying. But right now we pushed lower, we took the major amount of liquidity in here. This is internal range liquidity, but still kind of important. So there could be a chance that if market wanted to go, let's say, to this buy side liquidity, that this could be like a pivot point for market to kind of put on like a Judas swing, as in like a fake move, liquidity grab to push higher, and then maybe move lower like this. But now my overall bias is short, so I'm not thinking of longs at all here. So we put on SMT here. Now someone would ask, don't I want to get in? We are putting like a retracement like this. Do I not want to get in? Kinda, yeah, but there aren't really fair value gaps. There's like one here, but it's kind of low in the price leg. Because if you're looking at the price leg, the fair value gaps is in discount, and you really want it to be in premium. At least to my experience. So that's your first fair value gap, and price is holding it right now, but I just don't want to get in the market quite yet. Also, one problem with my kind of bearish bias is that ES looks a little bit more bullish. Like if I was only trading ES, I would want to see something like this: sweep of the lows and move higher. But then NQ is a little bit more bearish. We put on like a bullish SMT with hourly chart here. So that could be like a problematic. And we are trading at all close to all-time highs. So market is definitely bullish. So there are some kind of factors that make me a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, this kind of moment here is definitely kind of making me think that we're going to run for the highs. And gun to my head, if I had to immediately execute, I would go for long at here and target the high here and try to maybe get like a 2R, something like that. But yeah, and maybe even like, look, we put on the fair value gap, we swept the sell side. Okay, now we are not forming fair value gap, but this could still, like, to many strategies, this could be actually like a good trade. Maybe you are inverse trader, you could take that inverse here. Now this reaction right here is not the nicest one, but it could easily work out, and this is not actually looking that bad of an idea. Yeah. But yeah, this new day opening gap is putting me off a little bit. So yeah, right now we're absolutely melting, just slower. I'm starting to consider shorts because market is now starting to show me signs of maybe shorts playing out. But you can see how that opening range gap, okay, it's small, but price came into it and just rejects. So that's kind of nice to see. I'm kind of thinking of maybe shorts, yeah. Let's mark out some lows here to have clearer targets. There, and there, and the last one really is that low. So now we are not really getting any retracement. I mean, yeah, we got like massive retracement here, but didn't really make me comfortable in any way. So not considering anything at that price like here. But now we push lower very aggressively. I want to see a trade, but we need to see a push back higher because the price like from the low to high to low here is quite large. So minimum at the equilibrium there. It seems like we are now pushing just lower, which is fine, but annoying, yeah. So very aggressive push going on right now. There's not much to do really. So right now we absolutely just melt and dump through all the liquidity pools that I annotated. Like absolute massive drop. Unfortunately, market's moving way too fast for me to get in. That's just how it goes. Right now I don't really know what to expect. Are we going to dump for the low in here? I mean, seems like so. It's continuing. So I don't really want to get short anymore. Like all of the targets are getting swept, and you know, if market doesn't want to get to this low, it doesn't really have to. Like it has dropped enough for the day, and so if I try to get short for the lows, there's a chance that market is just going to retrace higher and maybe dump then after like a large displacement, so or like a retracement higher. But right now there's nothing to do really. The only thing I could technically do is if it sweeps the lows, then it gives like enough confluence to go long, then maybe that could be the case, but it's not even sellable at hour and we've dropped absolutely massively. So this old daily low is really really like important liquidity pool as of now. This SND doesn't really mean much for me. This drop is erasing that off, but yeah. Okay, at this point in time, we took all the liquidity out. I can't see price just absolutely pushing in the other direction, at least very quickly. So what I will do is I won't take anything, but if market just prints very promising like inverse like that, I might just take a trade. But yeah, there is a chance that when we push so quickly lower, even if price gave like a short entry, it's going to just gyrate like this and not really do much. That's a possibility for me. So right now, this would be the only idea I kind of have, but you know, we took most of the liquidity, if not like you could say all of the liquidity that was expected to be taken. What is there really to be done? Like, yeah, technically we are trending lower. We broke structure to the downside. That could work out, but it would be breaking my rules if I tried to now force a short here because okay, as I said, it could work, but all of my liquidity targets have been met, so there is like to my rule set. I just absolutely cannot take a trade anymore. Like I have to comply with my rules, and that's how trading goes. So yeah, this is not a trade to be taken, and I'm not going to lie. If I had to kind of say what's probably going to happen here is it's probably going to reject here, go to like here, gyrate a little bit, then move for the high, then gyrate a little bit, move for the low, maybe take some lows. I don't know. It's probably just going to kind of gyrate in the range and do something weird. Maybe it's going to sweep this low again today. Maybe not. But definitely, I wouldn't try to go short and target this low. My initial plan is to kind of see this as the daily low now. And if you absolutely need to take something, I would want to see like a fair value gap, bearish fair value gap in this region. That would be CB. Bearish fair value gap in this region, and then like market inversing that, and we could then try to have like a short term long to the high here. But yeah, it doesn't really look good for sells anymore. There's no reason to sell because there are no targets left. The only reason you take a trade is because you have a liquidity target, and we took all our targets. Like market took all the targets. Yeah, some could argue that these could be new targets, but that's not how I see marketplace. You don't just target the new targets because there are new targets. There has to be some reason. Maybe, okay, if you create new target like this, like a low like this, what could be the reason why you could still target this? If let's say we had like a massive wick here that had not been taken like that, and then these would be equal lows, that would be a good reason to go short still. But in this specific situation, market has swept all the liquidity. When market builds buy side and sell side liquidity ranging like this, let's say. Okay, market has built liquidity now. We have sell side and buy side. When we take the sell side, okay, where are we going to go to the opposing side now? Is market always going to run for the high here? Not necessarily. So if market is truly just bearish, after taking all the liquidity that you want to see taken, market could just continue lower. But in this case, we are having a retracement, and you would want to see a retracement that takes out some liquidity. Let's say we got some internal highs here, like pull like that. So you want to see like a retracement back higher. So I don't know if you caught what I was trying to say here, but generally speaking, I just don't assume that price is going to dump further down when you have already taken all the sell side that I was kind of aiming for. So now all my liquidity targets have been met. The only thing left here is just to target some of these internal highs and such. But right now we are getting, we're kind of getting what I wanted to see in that market is putting on bearish fair value gap right now. That's your 1 minute CB. So I'll put that there. So how I would want to see this work is market rejects from this area, flip that for a rally gap, and we could then target this as internal buy side liquidity. That could work as a buy, but the problem with this as well is that, okay, I outlined to you why I didn't want to go short. Now the reason why I technically could go long is this could be actually a decent idea, but I'm not sure if we're actually going to take this high because there is no equal highs. We took the high here, so if there was equal highs, I would be about to like execute this immediately when it realized. Like if it flipped that gap, I would immediately take a trade. But I don't really want to do that because, first of all, the liquidity, no equal highs here, and the trading day has been bearish, so bearish day, the trend continues maybe like 60% of the time. So there is just likelihood of us dumping further down. and that has to be taken into consideration. If you dump further back down, now we also have to consider time. But now when we get into the lunch hour, we can then expect to see some type of retracement higher, because that's what lunch hour usually does after these type of days. So I do have some ideas here about how market delivered here price action. I'm naturally a little bit hesitant with the ideas that I'm having still. Yeah, I simply just have to end today with no trade. There's no opportunity here.